Hi folks, I just wanted to give you a quick video walkthrough of exactly what tree protection fencing is. So you may well have seen this specified in your report, and you may well have seen it specified on what's known as your tree protection plan. So within your report there'll be three plans. There'll be a tree constraints plan, which just shows the trees set in the landscape with the existing footprint. There'll then be a tree assessment plan when we look at your proposals against the trees and assess where the potential conflict could be. And then the final plan is the tree protection plan. Now, sometimes the local authority will ask for a tree protection plan and an arboricultural method statement. And one of the most common forms of tree protection on site is this tree protection fencing. So essentially what that is, you'll see it on your tree protection plan as either a dashed blue line or a solid purple line like this around these two trees. And basically the point of that fencing is to protect those trees from damage from the builders during the construction phase. So what we mean by that is it stops them driving excavators through the root protection area, dumping materials, excavating, all that kind of good stuff. It's temporary fencing. It's in place only during the construction phase. It should be in place before any builders come onto site, and it should be removed once the builders have left site and there's landscaping, etc., or just tidying up left to do. Now, the specification within the British Standard is very high quality. So it's this scaffold framework with metal poles braced backwards with poles driven into the ground, and you tend to see that on the larger construction sites. For the smaller residential projects, what is perfectly acceptable is to use Herass fence panels like you would see around any construction site, complete with rubber feet. But the important thing is that there is bracing on this so that the builders cannot move it. So if I just open up an example photo, so this is a Herass fence panel on a larger construction site, and you can see the signage on there just stating that it's tree protection fencing. It's protected by a planning condition and it mustn't be moved without consulting the local planning authority or the project arborist. And you can just see on this photo here, standard Herass fencing, and then there's just a scaffold pole every 3 panels driven into the ground, with a 45-degree pole going back and then driven down the back. So fairly cheap, fairly inexpensive, shouldn't add to your project cost too much, and that is the bare minimum that the local authority will accept. The fencing should be signed off by your project arboricultural clerk of works before any work starts on site, and for simple residential projects like this one here, then it's perfectly acceptable to send through a photographic record for us to sign off. So hopefully that's been helpful, and that's tree protection fencing. Cheers now, bye.